In 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go get 100 Ks. Time is here. Have yourselves a day in the mountains. We'll see you at the finish.
Tushars 100K, here we go. So we're a little over 4 miles into this thing. It's just after 6 a.m. We started at 5 a.m. And this race just has never-ending amounts of vert. So it's 100K, so 62 miles. And anywhere from 16 to 17,000 feet of vert on this course. So we've done a lot of climbing already. We're up at elevation. We're at about 11,000 feet right now. Race started at 10,000 feet. Our high point is going to be Delano Peak, which is 12,100 something feet. And our low point is going to be just above 8,000 feet. So high elevation mountain race with lots of climbing, but it's very beautiful so far. I've already had a couple of stream crossings. Feet have already gotten wet. Gone through some wildflower fields, and you can see some of the snow still on the mountain up there. We're going to be going through some snow drifts later in the course, so very beautiful so far. And check in at the first aid station here in a little bit. Okay, kind of the first wow moment of the day. We're on the single track going up this mountain, and our views just opened up to this beautiful valley. I'm not sure if that's where we came from or not. You can see some buildings down there. It might be the ski resort that we started at, but absolutely beautiful. We're gonna get a day full of views like this, which is awesome, because I can already tell that this race is gonna be hard. So we just crested that hill. This is a pretty steep descent down here, but that is our view. Trying to watch my footing, so I can't really enjoy it, but I'll watch the video footage later. But it is incredibly beautiful right now. Well, we have hit the snowfields already. Pretty crazy seeing all this in the middle of July, or I guess the end of July. We're going down. I'm going to try not to fall, so I'm going to put the camera away. So many stream crossings here from all the snow melt. Whew. So my feet have gotten wet about 4 times already. Not soaked, but definitely a little bit wet. But so pretty. I'm pretty sure that right there is Delano, which is going to be the high point of our course at 12,100. I forget, 64 feet or something like that. But that's going to be at mile like 12-ish. Right now we're at like almost a mile 6. Our first aid station, I believe, is going to be coming up at around mile 8. So another 2 miles or so, we'll get to shed some layers. It was pretty chilly in the morning. It was in the 40s. So I just have this jacket on, and I have my calf sleeves, and I had arm warmers on too underneath my jacket. I ended up taking those off, so now I'm just in a short shirt, t-shirt, what am I saying? And my light jacket, but I'm pretty comfortable. But I think at the aid station I'll take it off and just go back to a t-shirt and arm warmers. It's tough to plan for weather at these high elevation races. And since this is all at elevation, we have some gear that we're required to carry, like a waterproof rain jacket. We have to have, so I have that in my bag too. It's a separate jacket than what I have on, so I'll be carrying 2 jackets all day. But that rain jacket's a lot warmer than this jacket, so I'm hoping not to have to use it unless it starts monsooning out here, thunderstorming or whatever. So we'll see. You can see the people making their way up that mountain, so that's gonna be our trail. These wildflowers, unbelievable. The guy in front of me said that this was cartoon pretty, and definitely have to agree with that. Just about 8 miles in, and we've made it to our first aid station. We've got a big climb after this to get up to Delano, so we're gonna fuel up here before climbing up that hill. I'm 138. Thanks, guys. Okay, in and out of that aid station. Got some stuff to eat, PB&J, some chips, some Oreos for the road. I was hungry this morning. I had a good breakfast, but I don't know, I was like really hungry for that first segment, so I made sure to stock up. Definitely don't want to get behind on calories this early. So we got 7.5 miles to the next aid, but it's up and over Delano Peak, high point of the course. Like I said, 12,100 something feet. So we're kind of making the death march up the hill right now. You can see where we came from, and beautiful mountains and valleys behind there. It's just so awesome here. Got passed by a couple of the 70K racers, which is insane because they started an hour after us. They started at 6 a.m. We started at 5 a.m. and they're just like running up this hill. Don't understand how the heck that's possible, but we're just staying focused on my race, not worrying about what other people are doing. But still, it's pretty incredible that we're 8 miles in and they've already made up an hour. But we're just gonna power hike our way up this hill and enjoy these views. Super excited to see view from the summit. Should be pretty awesome. Let's check, right now we're at 11,100 feet of elevation. So we got about 1,000-foot climb, which actually isn't too bad. I thought it'd be more than that. So that's actually kind of encouraging. So yeah, we're gonna knock it out. So they had stairs carved out on that snowbank, but I just went down, slid about down to those trees. I'm all right. It's pretty kind of fun. Whoop. Here you go. Some epic video footage if you want it. There's no other way to do it, man. It's I know. chaos.
Spikes would have been nice.
We're gonna go around this waterfall. Maybe. Wow. So pretty. Yep, both the feet got wet again, but it's okay. So they're about to start climbing again. And I said before, it's only a 1,000-foot climb because we were at 11,100 feet in elevation. Well, we just ran down a bunch, so now we're at 10,184 feet in elevation. So we do have about a 2,000-foot climb to get to the top of Delano, which I think is straight ahead, just through the peaks there, through the trees, I mean. So yeah, race is brutal. 10 miles in, it's just constant up and down and up and down. Steep, rocky, technical, but very beautiful, as you can see. So they used to do mining here somehow. Don't know how they got the equipment back here, but we passed a couple of old abandoned cabins. Here's another one. Pretty cool. And up we go. I think we're about halfway up this climb. I just checked my watch. We're at 11,000 feet exactly. Climbing up to 12,100. I am suffering. It's like my legs feel so heavy. I don't know. It feels like I'm in last place. Keep getting passed by 70K runners. Feels like it's not my day. But gonna keep going. But I am seriously suffering right now. So it looks like we're gonna hit switchbacks here, which is good because that was like straight up for a while. And yeah, I'm just hurting. My legs are really heavy. I feel like I have no climbing legs in me. And I'm like, I keep eating, but I just feel like really hungry. So I don't know what's up with that. But it's a pretty field. Got a stream flowing over there. All these snowbanks. You can see the runners doing the death march up this hill. Looks like there's quite a few people suffering. So maybe that's just something I gotta tell myself. It's that it's probably hard for everybody out here right now. This is a crazy race. So just gotta suck it up, deal with it, move past it, keep climbing. Okay, we are at the saddle, looks like, of Delano Peak. You can see runners making their way up that hill. Runners coming up that hill where we just came from. Views are incredible. Still feel horrible. I think I'm at 12.18 miles right now. I think these are the hardest 12 miles I've ever done in my life. This is either going to be a short day or it's going to be a story of grit and perseverance. I might be fighting cutoffs. I'll have to check and see what they are, but I know there's a few of them. I just feel like, I don't know if it's altitude or what. It might be altitude. Wouldn't think so. I mean, I live at 7,000 feet. I train on Eldon and Humphreys and, you know, tall mountains. But I just feel like my legs have nothing in them today. But hopefully we can turn it around, but at least the views are pretty. Thank you, sir. Was that just on the ground here? All right. Oh my gosh. That was awful. But made it to the top. Awesome.
Oh, he's a half marathon guy though. And he's young. You know they recover quick.
Trying to run down this a little bit, but it's not really the best footing and my legs just still don't feel great. But pretty epic view. I'm really curious to see how I'm going to be in relation to the cutoff times for these aid stations. Once we get to the mile 15 aid station, I'm going to check. That climb was really rough. Hopefully, there's a big 4,000 foot climb at like mile 48, but I'm hoping that the rest of them aren't as bad as that. Nice work. Nice work. Look at this guy cruising. All right, approaching aid station number 2, almost mile 15. I've been running down this for a little bit. Still don't feel great, but getting a little better maybe. Yeah. All right. I feel like I'm in last place.
No, you aren't. It's not.
No?
You're standing behind it.
All right.
Whatever.
Okay, just left the second aid station. I forgot the name of it already, but we've got 6 miles to get to the next aid station. That has a 1 p.m. cutoff that we have to be leaving that aid station by, so it's a little before 10 o'clock right now, well, 9:58, so basically 10 o'clock. So we've got 3 hours to go 6 miles. Should be doable. And apparently I'm not in last place, so that's good. Took my calf sleeves off, so I'm feeling fresh. Got some food. I think the legs are starting to come around, so we'll see if we can keep it going. And we're gonna hammer this section out. This is a crew access point. My wife's up ahead, so I'm gonna embarrass her. Yeah. Say hi to YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
This is my wife. My baby. Hi. No, I think I'm good.
Yeah? You put
Well,
sunscreen on?
No, I don't need sunscreen.
You sure?
Yeah. So hard so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm not gonna make it.
I don't think so.
I don't know. We'll see. Just gotta turn it around. So we're a couple miles into this segment. Been running most of it. Starting to feel a little better, so that's a good sign. So yeah, I think seeing my wife there helped perk up my spirits too. So for those that don't know, and if you couldn't tell from the video, my wife is pregnant. She's 32 weeks, so kind of in the middle of the 3rd trimester. Baby girl, due date September 22nd. So we're both very excited. It's the first kid for both of us. So yeah, just thought I'd share that with you guys. She doesn't like the camera, and she's kind of well, she doesn't like being on camera, so I'm sure she'll be super embarrassed if I put her in the video, but I'm probably going to, so she can just deal with it, I guess. So I'm trying to get all my running and all my adventuring out of the way now, because after the baby comes, I'm sure everything's gonna change. Hoping I'll still be able to squeeze in some adventuring just for my own sanity and mental health. But yeah, it's gonna be different, at least for a while. So I don't really have anything I'm signed up for after this race. So it's what, July 28th or something like that, I think. So less than 2 months till the baby's due. So we'll see if I can squeeze some things in, but I don't know. Everyone keeps telling me, you know, your whole life's gonna change. You don't even know what you're in for. Like, just you wait. So we'll see. But anyway, just wanted to, like I said, throw that little tidbit of information in there for those of you guys that didn't know. We are pregnant. Ooh. This is a cool little signal track we just got on. We were on double track for a while, which was nice and runnable. But this is pretty runnable so far as well. A nice little field of flowers here coming up. I think the field's really starting to thin out too. We were crossing paths with like the 70K runners and the half marathoners, and it's pretty hectic there, going up and down over Delano Peak, but we made a turn off and they kind of went the other way. So I think from now on, all we're gonna be seeing are the 100K runners. So pretty. Yep, we're getting wet. How beautiful that is. Cold water. Dang. Pretty much become a hike fest at this point, but it's okay. I think we're still good on time. I'm about 3/4 of a mile out from the Mud Lake aid station, the one that has a 1 o'clock cutoff, and it's 11:35, so I should be there 10 minutes or so. So we're good there. The next cutoff, I think the aid station after that's called the Boolean aid station. Mile 28.5, so 7.5 mile section. That cutoff I think is 3:45. So looks like I'll have, I don't know, 4 hours or so to do that section, which should be doable. We've just been hiking it out and enjoying these views. They're absolutely gorgeous. The marathon runners are coming the opposite way on this trail. You can see 2 of them running down there. So we've been crossing paths with the marathon runners a little bit, which has been nice. But yeah, almost to Mud Lake. Looking forward to getting there. Okay, leaving the Mud Lake aid station. It's 12:04, so we're about an hour ahead of cutoff. job. We've got 7.5 to the next aid station, and we've got a 3:45 cutoff for that one, so we're gonna knock this out. Nice job. See that beautiful alpine lake down there from all the snow melt? Absolutely gorgeous. We're up here at about 11,000 feet. Whoop. Almost fell. You know, Flagstaff has the tallest mountain range in the world without an alpine lake. And that's because everything there is so volcanic that the water just seeps through everything. So it actually can't hold any water. So even though we have mountains that are over 12,000 feet, no alpine lakes in Flagstaff. And that's why. So it's very cool to see this out here. Making our way through a scree field here, all this loose rock is falling off the mountain. You get like no breaks with this course. It's either technical climbing or technical descending. But the views are awesome. Well, we've got our alpine lake over there. We're running by. And it is absolutely beautiful. It's like a nice turquoise color. Very pretty. We've been on this nice single track descent for a while. It's been mostly good. There's been a lot of scree fields to run through with all like the rock fall. So that's been a little tricky, but I feel like I'm making good time through here. And the scenery always helps when you're hurting. I'm very much scenery driven when I run, so yeah, that's awesome. So I'm not positive, but I was trying to look on my Gaia map to see what that mountain was. I'm pretty sure that is called Mount Baldy. So, not the California Mount Baldy, because there's another one here in Utah. Doing the death march up to the Bullion aid station. Should be there in about 2 miles. I don't know if you can hear, but all the snow melt that was creating that alpine lake, we kind of went through that creek for a while before we started climbing. And it was hot, so I dunked my hat in the creek to pull me down. There's the lake. But we kind of got some cloud coverage now, and the wind's picking up a little bit, so it's actually kind of chilly. Debating on, heard something funny behind me. Debating on putting my arm sleeves on. I think I'm okay for now, but it is chilly. It feels like it's 65 degrees. That's my guess. It's slightly breezy. But anyway, nothing like a death march up to an aid station. That's pretty much the name of the game with this race, it seems like. But we're getting there, and we're still good on cutoffs. It's 1:38 right now. Also, I just crossed over a marathon distance. My time's like 8.5 hours. Pretty sure that's Cocodona pace marathon. maybe even slower. I forget what I was at that point for Cocodona this year. But anyway, we have a 3:45 cutoff to leave the next aid station by, and we'll probably be there in an hour or so. It's like 2:40-ish. So again, about an hour ahead of cutoff. That's a little close. I'd like to try to widen that gap a little bit, but we'll see. But as for now, we're doing okay. Just doing the death march and enjoying the views. We finally topped out on that hill. So now we're running down into the aid station. And again, just enjoying the views. Made it.
We're so glad you're here.
All right, glad to be here. All right, thank you guys. Thank you guys. Best aid station so far. We'll see you on the return. Yeah. This guy, Steve Adderholt, race director extraordinaire.
Deuces.
Yeah. We'll see you guys. Oh yeah. All right, and we're back. So we got an 11-mile out and back up to Bean something Peak. I forget the name of it. Copper Bean Peak. We got a water drop in like 3 miles, and then we got another death march up the top of the mountain. We're gonna summit, turn around, head back down, back this way. So cool. Steve Adderholt is here. He's the race director for Cocodona. Great guy, a great race director. You know, I talked about it in my Cocodona video, but just can't say enough about everything that he's done for that race to make it what it is. But nice work.
Oh, buddy. Put me in the vlog.
Yeah, you got it. Incredible views. That was a much needed break. I feel pretty good right now. We're gonna go downhill for a little bit until the water break, the water station. So I'm gonna try to run this out. It's 2:37, so we're over an hour ahead of the hard cutoff, 3:45. So we're in good shape. So it looks like the mountain we're going up is that one. We're heading down this descent right now. I think we're gonna cross over there where that stream is and go up that mountain, which is called a Copper Belt Peak. I think I called it a Copper Bean Peak in the last video, but it's Copper Belt Peak. And I don't know if we go all the way up or just part of the way up and turn around. It kind of looks like on the map we don't actually summit it, but we'll see. Looks intimidating. So hopefully I have enough climbing legs by now to knock it out and still feel strong. The climb that's really scaring me is after the mile 48 aid station, there's a 4,000 foot climb. So yeah, I'm kind of dreading that one. But one thing at a time. We'll get through this one first, and then we'll worry about that one. We're just making our way through this gorgeous field of wildflowers. Looks like we might get some rain here. I think, unless I'm going crazy, I've felt a raindrop or two here in the last minute. So, might bust out the old rain jacket here. And the weather can change so drastically when you're up at elevation in these mountains, you know, and it is our monsoon season here. So, not too surprised. Hopefully it'll roll in and out pretty quickly. I really don't want it to rain all night. So there is a hard cutoff of the second pass through of that Boolean aid station. It's at 7:45 p.m. So that's gonna be like mile 39.4. So right now I'm at 31.8. You can see it's about 3:30. So I've got 4 hours and 15 minutes to go 6.5 miles. So again, in pretty good shape. This climb hasn't been terrible so far. Nothing too steep, so I've been able to keep a pretty steady pace. And I should be able to run most of it going back down. So I feel pretty good about where I'm at time-wise. All these wildflowers are just, I mean, they're awesome. So pretty. So anyway, we're gonna keep hammering this out. Okay, I think we are nearing the top to where our turnaround spot is. We're on this little single track, just kind of on the edge of a cliff. But it's fine. We're getting sprinkled on a little bit, but I don't think it's quite enough to put my rain jacket on or even my light jacket. I think it feels good in the t-shirt. I don't know if you can see, but our aid station is straight ahead. So that's the road we came down, which means that's what we gotta go back up. But the views up here are, I mean, epic, amazing. Just like they've been all day. What do we got here? Screen field. I'll wait for these guys to come. Nice work, guys. How much further to the turnaround?
0.75.
Less than a mile? Cool, thank you guys. Perfect. All right, 3/4 of a mile. So, let's finish it. All right, we are at the turnaround spot for Copper Belt. And I'm assuming it's because of the snow drift that we're not actually summiting. But to be honest, I've never been happier to not summit a mountain before. That was brutal. We lucked out with weather, it looks like, because they're getting crushed over there. The sun's actually kind of poking through again here, and I don't think we're gonna get much of anything. So, whew. But making good time, 4:17. I left that aid station at 2:30, so it's an hour and 45. So if I keep that pace, I'll be back there at 6, which means I'll be an hour and 45 minutes ahead of the 7:45 cutoff. So that's where we're going. Actually, I can't quite see the tent, but that road right there, I gotta go all the way back down and all the way back up. And then we have a 4,000 foot climb in a little bit. So what a crazy race this is. I knew it was going to be hard, but this is harder than I thought it would be, for sure. Anyway, time to bomb this hill. So I checked Gaia, that map on my phone, and it looks like the Copper Belt peak tops out at about 11,300 feet, and our turnaround was 11,100 feet. So we only lost about 200 feet on the climb. I don't know if in years past they usually summit that to the true summit. I'm guessing they do, but just this year with that huge snowbank there, just wouldn't be safe. But yeah, it seemed like it was a bigger climb than that, but only 200 feet to get to the true summit from where we turned around. So not too bad. I was starting to feel bad that we got like an easier version, quote unquote, of Tushars this year, but I'm not going to sweat 200 feet in this race. All right, we are back at the creek crossing. My feet got wet here the first time I crossed it. Yeah, yep, a little bit wet. Shoot. It's hard to believe we were just all the way up there. But across the creek means most of our descent, unfortunately, is done. So now we got another climb to get back to the aid station. But still doing good on time. I should be there in about an hour. It's 5 o'clock right now. So that'll put me about an hour and 45 ahead of the cutoff. Where are the flags here? Oh, there we go. I made it back. Bullion Pasture Aid Station. That was a long stretch. I will be very glad to sit down and refill and eat something. Plus, I literally just ran out of water, so. Oh yeah. This place. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys. Right. That aid station was awesome. I got there actually ahead of schedule at around 6, right on the, actually a little bit before 6, I think like 5:58. It's 6:18 now, so still about an hour and a half ahead of the cutoff. So we have about a 7-mile stretch, a little over 7-mile stretch to get to Miners Pass Aid Station. There's a little climb right here, but after this little climb, it's gonna be downhill. It's like a 4,000 foot drop. And then after that aid station is the 4,000 foot climb. But, oh man. It felt good to sit there for a while. I think I might have sat a little too long because my body's a little stiff right now. But it'll loosen up, hopefully. I'm super excited to get to Miners Pass. Emily will be there. And my buddy Noel Kingston should be there. If he's still working that aid station. There's I think it's a 10:30 cutoff to leave Miners Pass. I'm hoping to do this section in about 2 hours. I think it's definitely doable as long as all the downhill is runnable. And even if it's not runnable, I think I can still do it in like 2:15 or 2.5. So still in pretty good shape as far as time goes. Just got to do this 4,000 foot climb, and we're already at over 10,000 feet of elevation gain for the race. At mile 38, well, 38.7. Put the arm sleeves back on. It's really cloudy out, so the sun's covered, so it feels a little bit chillier. But yeah, other than that, I'm gonna try to get the legs going here again. See if we can run some of this downhill once we finish this climb. And we'll check in along the way. Right, just jumped onto the single track. I think this is just called Bullion Pasture Trail or something like that. There's a map behind me, but I didn't look at it. And it looks like it's smooth and runnable. So let's run. We're making our way down this descent. We're dropping down to just above 8,000 feet. We're at 9,400 feet right now, I just checked. So another 1,000 plus feet to go. It's been somewhat runnable, somewhat techy. Depends. This is kind of runnable here, but I just don't feel like running right now. This course has been awesome because you've been able to hear flowing water like 80% of the time, which is one of my favorite sounds in the world. It's a flowing creek or a flowing stream. So there's a stream flowing down that way. We crossed it a few times. And it's just cool getting to hear that pretty much for the whole run. This is a little swampy. Took a fall a little while back. There was some loose dirt on a steep downhill. I just lost my footing, but I'm all right. I think it's my third fall of this run. Maybe fourth, I don't know. I've had a few. But it's cool seeing all the plants change. Like we have these ferns coming up right here and just different kinds of wildflowers as we descend in elevation. The landscape kind of changes with it. So anyway, I think I'm like maybe less than 3 miles to the aid station. And I should, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna get there before dark for sure. I'll probably get there at like 8:15 or so. And then I'm gonna eat some real food because they should have real food at this aid station. And then I'll get my lights set up going and finish this thing out in the dark. So we're getting there. You know, I remember reading something in the race guide about falls, but I forgot about it until just now. Look at that. Hopefully you can see it. That's so beautiful. I forget what they're called, but man, talk about a pleasant surprise. Less than a mile away from the aid station now, so should be there pretty soon. Why would he leave?
I don't know.
All right. Yeah. All right, I got a cheer squad. Leaving the aid station. Emily. I didn't film there because Emily was there and she's camera shy. But they had real food finally. First aid station all day that's had real food. So we had pasta with some beef and bacon. It was so good. And I was there for about 15 minutes. So it's 8:46. The cutoff to leave that aid station was 10:30, so still an hour and 45 ahead. So assuming I keep that pace up, I'll be finishing at like 3:15 in the morning because it's a 5 a.m. Overall cutoff, which is great considering that several times a day I didn't think I would finish this thing. So finally we're getting there. We just have a 4,000 foot climb in the way here, so we're gonna knock that out. And yeah, I'm very much excited to be done with this. This race is crazy hard. But getting there. Making our way up the death march again. It is cold, rainy, and windy. Miserable. Oh man. Glad I brought gloves. I just threw my gloves on, got my jacket on, but I'm not comfortable. Looks like we've climbed about 3,000 feet already. So hopefully we're gonna top out at a peak up here. So we're gonna go up and over, I forget the name of it, Edna Peak maybe, I think that's right. Hopefully it'll either be downhill or flatten out after that to get to the aid station. But yeah, this wind and rain is not fun at all. We made it to the last aid station. Oh, thank you, Lord. That section was probably the hardest section out of any race I've ever done. Whoever thought it was a good idea to put a 4,000-foot climb at the end of this thing? What in the world? I really need to sit down and recover before we tackle the end. That was insane. 138. 138? Yes, sir. Okay, we have begun the trek back from the final aid station. It's about 8 miles to get to the finish. It's a net descent, net downhill I should say, but it has 3 little climbs and 3 descents off of that, so it's like up, down, up, down, up, down to get to the finish. Can't wait to be done. Okay, we are right at the finish line, but of course they have to end it with a climb. Unbelievable. Finally here. Never have to do this stupid course again. Holy cow, that was hard. Probably the hardest race I've ever done. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh.
Good job, brother.
Nice job.
Thank you.
You're done. I saw you, I could tell it was from Super all the way across the turn that off.
Turn what off?
Your light. The headlight that's attached to your waist.
Sorry. Were you waiting long?
Yeah, well, I was coming out to... Dave was supposed to finish like an hour ago or something.
You didn't finish yet?
No.
Oh man.
You must have passed him at some point. Ooh.